Welcome to the city, Mastermind City. Hi, I'm Faye Chappell.
And I'm Stacey Maynard. Join us for a vibrant, uplifting, and inspiring conversation as we focus on how you can make a lasting impact on a global scale. Because the truth is, we're here because we want you to win.
So are you ready? Are you ready to build your unique message, showcase your brand advantage, get visibility, and make an impact? Well, if you are, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the city.
Cheers.
Yeah, I finally got my coffee. It's been, I've been up forever, but it's one of those mornings, that you do so much and then you realize you haven't had coffee. And then as soon as you're doing great, right? You're running like a road runner. And as soon as you realize you didn't have coffee, all of a sudden your body goes, uh-oh, slow down. You can't do anymore.
It's funny that you said that because that was me yesterday. So I came, because yesterday, even though it was Tuesday in Canada, here we had a holiday on Monday. So Tuesday's kind of like a Monday. And so I'm sitting at my computer and I've got my mind is going crazy. I've got to check, catch up on all this stuff after the long weekend. And I'm going. And then it was like 10 o'clock and I went, I haven't had my coffee. And all of a sudden I was like,
It's just like, it's not really correct because just your brain saying, oh, I didn't have coffee. And so you all of a sudden slow down. If you didn't think that thought, you would have been fine.
I would have been fine. And that's what I thought. I was like, you know what? I probably would have been okay all day. Yeah. But all of a sudden my brain goes, oh, because it's part of the routine. Yeah. I didn't have my coffee. And I'm like, and I'm now sluggish and now I'm tired and now I need coffee. And I was like, what happened? My brain was fine 3 minutes ago.
It's true.
Yeah, very bizarre.
Yeah.
Very bizarre. I have a question for you.
Okay. I might not have an answer, but I will try.
I hope so. So I think this is a situation where a lot of people run into. So as you know, because, we're in business together, we help a lot of coaches. Mm-hmm. A lot of us coming to us for multitude of different things. So where's the line in email support? Because a situation arose and I was helping somebody, but this was a year ago. So a year ago, they hired me to set up their podcast for them.
Okay. And
gradually over the year, she sends me questions every so often. What about this? What about that? Quick answers. So I don't mind sending the emails. But after a year, I'm starting to question, at what point do you stop doing email support? And at what point do you kind of say, if you would like to talk further, here's a link to book a session with me or whatever. There's a line there between, I just have a quick question to what's actually what they would book you for.
Right. Well, I think the onus is on you.
I know.
Since the beginning to have said, and I'm guilty of it too, because it still happens occasionally to me. It's when somebody signs up for whatever, whether it was, your podcast creation or podcast support, you would have said, this is what the package includes, right? Set up your thing and 6 months of email support.
But what does 6 months of email support look like?
Well, you could very well say, whatever you want it to say. Like you can say, once a week, I'll gladly answer your emails for 6 months or 3 months, 2 months, whatever it is. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter.
Right? But now I don't know what your original offer was. It probably just said support, like most of us. We don't really.
And I know this is my fault, 110%.
So I would simply say the next time she comes, I would simply say, I appreciate that you're still learning, you still have some questions and you do, I'm sure you appreciate that, I have a lot of clients and I'm very busy. So it's been over a year. I would just say it straight out. I would love to continue to help you out. Here are my two options. Book a call, or you should do a package, right? You should say 6 months of email support, X dollars. Feel free to book.
It's an interesting line because again, it wasn't. So again, I'm taking 100% onus that I did not set that up from the beginning. So lesson for other people to set that up. And I think it's something that should be included. I think contracts are really important. I think, sign sort of quote unquote, sign on the dotted line
Right.
that we both agree on this. This is the terms of our whatever. I didn't do that. I'll admit it. Again, it was simply okay, she has a quick question. Here's a quick, and it doesn't
That's
take
the problem. But then once
exactly.
you set the precedent, right? So,
And I answered the emails.
right, and I did that too. And I think what I very clearly did in my last couple rounds ago of because I don't like to go back and forth with signatures and stuff. What I did was put it in the online form. So when they sign up, you click, you agree to these terms, and here are the terms. Yeah. And they're all outlined so they understand what to do. But I think it's real important that you have to finally just say, look, and if they get mad, fine. Because if they get mad or think that that's ridiculous, they don't understand or appreciate the fact that that's what people pay you for, is your expertise and knowledge, right? So they don't pay you for, moving a widget into this box. They pay you to answer questions.
So I did do that because I just wanted to get your kind of view on it. So this morning, literally, I wrote her back and I said, really wanted to wish you the best of luck on the success of your show.
Yeah.
I kind of said, I know you have had a lot of questions along the way. Here's a way that you can book a call with me so that I can focus on the questions that you have instead of one-off emails.
Right. And
it's sort of how I worded it. And her response, so what I sent her was the Work With Us, because that's our link.
Yeah.
And I just said themastermind.city/work with us. And there's multiple options there. And her response, literally 10 minutes ago, was, I checked out the link. Wow, it looks amazing. I love some of the offerings. I'll definitely check them out.
See?
So you never know, because sometimes you think, well, she's just got a couple of questions. But I'm like, you know what? No, I've done a lot. I've answered it. Maybe she still needs a little bit of work. I want to make sure that she gets the time and focus on her business. So I also said, whether it's about your show or about your business in general,
right?
Here's the opportunity. So perfect.
Right. That's great.
So I think sometimes people are afraid to kind of say that. And that's why I wanted to ask the question first.
No, I mean, you have to. It comes down to, I just had a conversation with somebody about, somebody wanted them for help. They wanted a contract. They didn't get it. And they were questioning, like, well, do you think I'm too expensive? And I'm like, well, would you discount your regular hourly rate to get this? They're like, no. And I go, well, then the question is mute. I mean, it doesn't matter what they went with. And I always say, if you don't get it because of price, then that person just wants a cheap deal, and they'll go to somebody inferior because that's who they want. They just want the work done. They don't really care about the quality, right? So there are a lot of business coaches out there that you can go to. I am not the cheapest. Stacy is not the cheapest, right? We are definitely not the cheapest. There are very inexpensive ways to work with us and get really, really great stuff done to fit your budget. But if you want us for the day, you can go somewhere else and pay somebody for a day, probably at a quarter of what you pay us, right?
Right, unless you do one day coach, in which case that's just,
And that's really, that's why we created it.
Yeah,
but I mean, you get it is true. You get what you pay for.
Yep.
Right. So
it might not be the person, like if you're talking to somebody and they're maybe entry level in their business and you're, a higher level coach that might, I don't know, coach like senior executives and your fees are whatever, and they can't afford that. That might not be them. That might be you're not targeting the right person.
Right.
So there's that piece too.
And there's no difference in, you're buying software, you're buying TVs, you're buying whatever, you get what you pay for, right? So, so it's fine. Sometimes you get a deal. Awesome. We have a deal, one day coach. That's the way to connect with us and get the same information on a very inexpensive scale. If that's what you can afford, right? You can do it.
Yeah.
So there's lots of opportunities there. But, if you say to somebody, oh, I really want to work with them, but they're too expensive, I'll go over here. you're not going to get the same thing.
No,
So
not all coaches are
we've
created.
done it. We've done it. Both of us have done it. We've both had coaches and mentors that we've worked with, right? And I can still remember 100 years ago, really wanting to work with someone, just their online piece, but they were so expensive. So what I did was I couldn't afford their really expensive offerings. So I took their small online programs, and that's why we do it. We offer some great programs like the Global Impact Accelerator. That is for like a fraction of what you would pay to work with us individually or one-on-one. So if you what you do is you try to find the best person possible that you really want to work with and find out a way that you can, rather than go to the person that is just okay. Because it's not just about information. The other thing you have to really, really think about is if you have an affinity to somebody, like you want to work with them because you think you like them, that's who you want. Because if you work with somebody who you're just okay with, the motivation is not there.
Yeah. And as your business changes, grows, develops, pivots, whatever word you want to use, your affinity to different people may change. Right?
Completely
who I looked up to and mentored after when my business first started is different than who I'm mentoring and looking up to now.
Yeah. And it's, like it goes with everything, the programs you're working with, the software you're working with. I mean, we use the best. We really do. We invest in a lot of really robust software and programs, but we also invest in very inexpensive software with, startups to help them grow. And we're willing to, grow with that pain. But in terms of delivering our business, we're always looking for new stuff. That's why we spent the last 4 or 5 months doing what we're doing. And, it's interesting because we had a conversation about this yesterday with a client, but, we've been working on what we've been ready to launch for you guys for about 5 months now, right? 4 or 5 months. And we thought it was going to be a month.
Yes, we really did.
Right. So if those of you are saying, oh, I did something, I put a video up and nobody responded. Yeah, it doesn't work there. We haven't even put the video up yet. We're just working on the back end for all those months. So, I mean, sometimes people have this preconceived notion of, because you've watched all those things online where it says, oh, just do this and you're going to make $1 million. It doesn't work that way. It's not going to be overnight. We talk about this over and over again. It's work, it's work, it's work. Here's the thing though. The best way to describe it, again, I'm going to use my son because I use him all the time. 400 videos later, overnight success. Right. 400. So when we say we've been working on something 5 months, it's the same thing, because it'll be 6 months before we're really solid on everything, and then we'll launch. And then it'll do well. But we had to put in all that work to look like we did it overnight.
Exactly. And one of the things that it was interesting, because there's lots of, like we said, like you had said before, be careful, you get what you pay for. And we've been using different pieces of software in regards to emailing, setting up different things. Some of the stuff is free, and it sounds great because it's free, but there was one particular part of it, we had to get approval.
Yeah.
And we had to wait, and we're sitting there going, well, we could do it over here.
Yeah.
Where it's free.
Yeah.
Or we can wait, and we pushed through the approval process. It took a while.
Yep.
But now we see why.
Yes.
Right? There's a reason why you have to pay a premium for this particular service. There's a reason why you need to go through an approval process, because it's going to work that much better. You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So one of the ones that we've been working on that is ready is profile hacking secrets.
Yeah.
So this one is really exciting, as we've talked a lot about the Global Impact Accelerator program and the different pillars. And Faye came to me and said, what was probably one of the most impactful parts of the online marketing accelerator? And I said, profiles. I've been teaching profiles for a kabillion years, approximately. I've trained on it. I've spoke on stages about them. I've written people's profiles. And what I've created here is 3 ways to really up level your profile on all the different platforms
Right.
for free.
For free. We like free.
So sometimes free is good, depending on who you're getting it from. And we know personally, we love to give lots of value. So it's free.
And we really, what I want to point out on this freebie is the delivery of it, right?
Oh my goodness.
So we're
So exciting.
Stacy is delivering the information, but we're also using a new platform to deliver it, which is so cool because you can actually implement while you go right on this page. It has links to everything you need, and this is all free. And we just want to see what you guys think of it. Is it cool? Like, do you enjoy it? We're always looking for the newest and easiest way. So it's getting the information and being able to implement it right away. So
there's an implementation. Yeah. So just imagine, go to profilehackingsecrets.com and sign up. And just imagine, if you're on your phone, great. It's going to give you a link to this particular page, which there's a video training and there's some places that you need to actually do some homework because you need to put in the work as well.
Yeah.
And you're doing it on your phone and then you go, oh, actually I'm moving to my computer. Boom. You can pick it up right from your computer, continue typing, and then you can go and make the changes that you've made on the sheet onto your profile. So
we have not even sent this out to our list yet. So you guys are the first ones to hear about it. We just finalized all the connections yesterday to make sure they worked. And then
some of it was done before my coffee. That's what I was working on.
And then the next part will be ready for you guys probably tomorrow. So definitely next week, we'll talk long and hard about everything we've done and the journey we've come up with going through all this and the software we use, because we will list it on our resources page for you. As we always say, we list everything there to make sure that you guys know we use it. There's nothing on that page that we don't use currently, right? So, and it's important because we've, again, invested in a lot, and we're going to point out, for example, we've used actually 3 different webinar providers. Yeah. And right now we have 4, and right now we do have 4. Yes, we do.
We do.
And now right now we're running the same webinar on 2 different platforms.
Yeah.
So, which is cool because we want to, again, test and say, okay, what's working better and what are the pluses and minuses? So we're finally in that position where we're going to start sharing that. So part of Hot Topics going forward is really recording and doing reviews for you on that software, on the hardware we're using, anything else to make sure that you can go grab it and utilize it because we are using it. And
we are doing the testing of it too. We're not just, using one and saying it worked. Well, if this works so much better, or if this one works so much better, here's what we did and here's why we think it's the better option. Or here's a really good option for you. If you're like this kind of person, this one is actually better for you.
Yeah.
But if you're this kind of business or this kind of entrepreneur, then this one's better for you. And here's why. We're going through that.
And that's how really I started. I know Stacy did. That's how I picked out what software I was using. I would go to the person that I really liked their stuff, and I would either go and view their source code to see what they're using, or somehow they would have, listed it somewhere. Or I would go on random boards and go, hey, do you know what he's using to deliver this? And people would answer. So,
because sometimes you can't tell.
You can't. Yeah, you have
sometimes it looks like their own software because it's white labeled, but actually it's usually not.
No. So that in the old days, that's what you did. You did your own coding, or you got people to do it and build you stuff. But now there's no point because everything is so much, everything's out there for very little cost, but you have to know where to look. And that's why we're trying to take that away for you. So you don't have to, if you like our stuff, but we're not going to tell you about something we don't use.
And not that we don't like. And I think a lot of people will say, oh, well, if you buy this particular piece of software, I get a cut or an affiliate commission on that. And that's why I'm telling you this. But we're actually, yes, we have signed up. I'll be completely transparent. Obviously, we have for some that, yeah, we have affiliate links in there. We're not hiding the programs that we're using. We're not telling you we're using one and not. And you can see when you download or you go to the link for the profile hacking secrets.
Yeah.
If you go to that and you go to the link and you sign up and you go to the link, you're going to see the software that we're using to deliver the information that you can then type into. So,
and you will see on if you go to our resources page, you'll also see that we use 3 different platforms that we deliver website, landing pages, programs on, and you don't need all 3. We use all 3 because we like to test. So we're actually honestly using all 3 platforms, but you only need one. So we use Kajabi, ClickFunnels, and Groove. We use all 3 of them, but you don't have to. It's just a matter of we're really always looking around to see who's got the best deliverability. And once you get, when you get to a certain point when you've already created programs and you're already doing programs and people are buying them and working with you, you're going to the next level, which is, okay, so who can get me, SEO properly? Who can get me the pixels firing where I want them to? And so you get to the next level, which is what we teach people in our mastermind. But, you don't need all that until you're there. So don't spend, hours and hours trying to figure all that out when you don't need it yet. If you don't have something to sell, don't be looking at any of that other stuff.
Exactly. Not just time, but money as well. Yeah. The mastermind.city/tools and resources is a place that you can go and check all the stuff that we use, because we use a lot.
Stuff. Yeah. And I'm getting new stuff today. I saw a couple of things that I want to buy. So
this is where I get notes going, I found a new thing.
But it is cool because that's how I started with Kajabi. I mean, they were a brand new startup. That's how we started with Groove. We got in on the first day that they were literally launching their program. A lot of these little software programs, that we still use, we bought for like $50. Yep. Right? For lifetime. And other people now are spending $200-$300 a month on the service, but we were supporters of, because a lot of them don't work, right? A lot of the stuff.
I was going to say, we sign up for stuff and we buy programs and then we go, nah, this is not exactly what we thought it would be. Yeah. And that's okay, because the amount of money that we end up saving, the investments of programs that we really love, I'm okay to give on a few that don't work.
Exactly. But
if you're thinking of buying a program, if you're wondering whether it works, if you're thinking must be too good to be true, it's a one-time deal, whatever the case may be, send it to us.
Yeah.
We've probably heard of it. And if we don't, we'll definitely do our research.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us here in the Mastermind City. You don't have to say goodbye, because there's other ways that you can join us.
You can access our free trainings, masterclasses, and learn how you can work one-on-one with us. Join us at themastermindcity.com, and we will see you in the city.